Good morning, all of my Immortal Alcoholic Wife blog fans. This is Linda, and I am the Immortal Alcoholic's Wife. Thought I'd try to switch things up a little bit and try to do a little bit of video posting. I've never done this before, so I'm hoping that all of you who are watching this will give me some feedback and tell me, do you like it? Does it suck? Am I not star quality material? Just, tell me how you feel. Tell me like it is. It's all I ever ask of my followers. I had gotten a comment from Anonymous asking me how Riley was doing, that I hadn't posted anything about him in a few months. And I wish there were more to tell you. Um, Currently, he is suffering from dementia, and it's very difficult to tell you how things are because they can change from day to day. This coming week, we have an appointment with a neurologist. There is a suspicion that he has a slow bleed in his brain, which is contributing to the increasing amount of dizziness and inability to recall short short-term memory items. It can be as simple as me telling him what we're having for dinner at 8 o'clock in the morning and having him ask me again what's for dinner by around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It gets really frustrating, and I'm not the most patient person in the world, and I have to constantly be reminding myself that he is asking me because he truly does not know. A lot of the anger that I had concerning the fact that he has put himself into this situation by all the years of excessive drinking and multiple detoxes and on and on and on, and just going back to drinking every single time, it's a little bit of a change now because he is not drinking, and he's not doing these things or in the condition he's in because he's drunk. He is not drunk. I know a lot of my followers would say, well, that's a blessing. Well, in some ways, it was easier for me to deal with him when he was drinking than he is now. Now, I have to pull out every ounce of patience and consideration that I have just in order to get through each day. And the days are difficult. I know that Riley wants to participate in the household activities. He expressed concern just the other day that he one of the things he likes to do is to sweep the floor, and with his lack of balance, sweeping the floor ends up with him being on the floor. And we have tile floors, and my concern is always that he's going to hit his head and, really cause more damage than what he has now. Or that he might fall on tile floor and break a hip. And that's for people in their 70s. Breaking a hip is a monumental thing. So I constantly have that worry that something is going to happen while he's doing his chores. So I have asked him not to sweep the floors. But a simple request like that will be forgotten the next day. But not only that, it spurred the question from him, if I stop sweeping the floors, then I have nothing to do. There is nothing left for me to do. To which my response was simply, well, isn't that great? I mean, you don't have to do anything. Just, watch your programs and eat your meals and talk to the TV and do all that kind of stuff. But you don't have to do any housework anymore. And he said, but that's so unfair, and I don't like doing nothing. It's hard to tell him, it's difficult to tell him that as much as I would appreciate him sweeping the floors, after he sweeps the floors, I have to sweep them again because he sweeps all the dirt into a pile, And then the dog comes through, and the cat comes through, and even I come through, and we end up walking through these piles of dirt, which means it has to all be swept up all over again. He can't bend over to put to sweep the dustpan, the dirt into the dustpan. So he always believes he's going to come back and take the hand vac and sweep, vacuum it up with the hand vac. But then he goes to his room and he forgets that was his objective. His idea, no matter how worthwhile it may be, will escape him and he will forget, and he won't remember that he didn't sweep up the piles in the kitchen or wherever he's sweeping. Um, he likes to prepare his own lunch, and I always make sure that there are things for him to prepare. The problem is that he will take the can of soup and not take it out of the can, put the can into the saucepan, put it on the stove. Fortunately, he does not turn the burner on. And then he goes back to his room and he forgets. And when I ask him, did you have lunch? He'll say, oh yeah, I had soup. And I go out there and I see he tried to have soup, but he didn't have soup. And it upsets him if I try to fix his lunch for him. And so I try not to do that. I try to let him be on his own for lunch. He has an excellent breakfast every morning. He has an excellent dinner every night. I have a tendency to cook things from scratch. He's not eaten a lot of pre-prepared food. He prefers cereal for breakfast, but I try to make that happen only maybe 3 days a week so that he does have a real live breakfast, bacon, eggs, or pancakes, or waffles, or something like that. But to have cereal 7 days a week, all week long, is just not healthy, and he eats an unhealthy amount. He will eat a minimum of 2 cups of cereal and 2 cups of milk with that cereal, and he always wants his cereal pre-sweetened. I don't believe that that's healthy for anybody. Maybe a cup of cereal and have with it a yogurt or banana or something like that to balance it out is a little bit better, but he wants what he wants when he wants it, and if he doesn't have what he wants when he wants it, then we go into the passive aggressive mode. And the passive aggressive mode is extremely hard on me because I'm straightforward. If you make me angry, I will tell you. I am angry at you, and this is the reason why. With Riley, he will get angry. He will not tell you he's angry, but he will find a way to punish you. Excuse me. So how is Riley? Physically, Riley seems to be just fine for somebody who has more than 50% dementia and is losing the loss of the functions of a lot of his body. Walking is difficult. Holding a conversation is difficult. But if you want to compare him now to the way he was just before he went into the hospital more than a year ago, if you compare those two, then physically he's doing great. But does he want to be doing this great? No. And he makes sure that I know that constantly. He wants alcohol, and that's exactly what he wants. That's the only thing he wants. If you ask him, what do you want to drink for dinner tonight? We have Dr. Pepper, and we have ginger ale, and milk, and water, and tea, and he'll say, I want wine. I want a screwdriver. I want vodka, but it's never anything that isn't alcoholic. If you ask him, how do you feel about the way you're living, and he will relate to you that he doesn't want to be living this way. He's miserable. He wants to be drunk. And if he can't be drunk, then his life is not worth living, which is totally an oxymoron to me. I mean, how can you be living if you're dying? But to Riley, that's life. I suppose it's a lot like everybody's heaven and everybody's hell is different to each of us. And right now he's living in his hell. And if he were drunk, he would be living in his heaven. And so that's the way it goes. Now, how am I doing? I have learned through this experience that there is no respite for me. The Calvary is not coming to help me. I am on my own. I am not going to get respite from anybody unless I can pay for it myself. I am not going to get help putting him into a facility unless by some reason the court system finally decides that that's the best place for him. But basically, I have had to learn and live with the idea and the fact that my life is not in my control again. And um, I know a lot of people say, well, our lives are never really in our control, but living alone before Riley came back to me, I had a lot more control over what I did and what I had to do than I do right now. So I know that a few people have expressed concern about me becoming monetarily minded by offering the coaching sessions at a fee and starting to do other things that will generate an income. The reality is that if I can't generate an income soon, then I am probably going to go, I'm probably going to be placed in the loony bin before Riley will. Um, I need a break. I need to have him placed into a facility that will give him the 3 meals a day and provide him with entertainment and socialization and the things that he needs to survive, whether he likes the way he's surviving or not. And for me, I have to find a way to make that happen monetarily. That's why I have started doing the things that I've been doing, the counseling sessions, and I don't believe I charge an outrageous amount. And um, I'm offering the special wherever I possibly can, and people like it. My calendar was full for 4 days. The first 4 days that I started out, my calendar was full, and now it has slacked off a bit, but it is increasing again. It's becoming steady. The people that I saw in the first 4 or 5 days are asking for repeat sessions, and that's good. So that's coming along, and it will be a way for me to have an income outside of the income I have now so that I can use all of Riley's income to place him into a facility. In the past, back in the day when it was just me, before I took Riley back, I've always been the person who, if I didn't have enough money, I would find a way to get more money. If it meant taking a second job, I took a second job. If it meant that I sold something, I sold something. But whatever it was I did, I managed to do it on my own, and I didn't depend on anybody else's income to get me there. So for me, I have been, when Riley and I joined households, there were things that I needed to have or to do, or a certain kind of place to live in that managed to, that I could do that because I also had Riley's income. Well, that income is going to go away because I probably around the 1st of July, I'm hoping that I will be making enough money to put him into a quality facility. That's going to run around $5,000 a month. So I have to improve my financial capacity to be able to meet that. So for those of you who are concerned about the fact that I am now trying to make some money off of the Immortal Alcoholic, that's just the way it has to be. Um, this is a good thing for Riley. Going into a facility will be a good thing for him because the reality is he doesn't really like me very much. He does not like living with me, and he certainly does not like having me be his caretaker and to have control over the money and the household and the decisions and all of that. He does not like it. And I know he's miserable. And he's probably not as miserable as I am with all of the responsibility that I have to take care of him. But I know that if he were around other people, he would probably be much happier. He does not want to go into a facility because he knows he will not have alcohol there. He doesn't have alcohol here, but he can't, that's not something that he can justify in his mind. He has not come to terms that his drinking days are over. But it seems to me that having him placed somewhere where people are going to come and check on him, people are going to be able to talk to him. He used to be the bingo caller back in the day when he was working at the Chiefs Club. It was his part-time job, and the main benefit was that he could drink, but the other benefit was that he liked to call bingo, and he did that every single bingo night. So maybe he'll have a chance to call bingo again. Maybe he'll end up in a facility where there are other ex-submarine sailors, and that would be beneficial for him to have someone that he could really relate to. He doesn't relate well to me. I'm not a man. I'm not a sailor. I'm a person who just wants to get by. And so that's okay. But I think that that would be the best avenue for him. So how is Riley doing? Riley is doing okay. He can do better, and he will do better. And the reason he's going to do better is because I'm going to make sure that he is in a situation where he is more comfortable and he can do better. So I guess that's about it. I've been talking nonstop now for about 17, 18 minutes here, according to the clock on my little counter thing. But if you liked the video, let me know. And if you would like me to do more of the video and less of the writing, let me know. Oh, I do want to tell you that it's very hard now that Riley's in the situation that he's in. I'm finding it very difficult to reach back into my reserves of memories and try to pull out memories of instances of things that have happened in the past. I have covered so much of it in my book, The Immortal Alcoholic's Wife, and I don't want to reveal everything that's in the book because I don't want people to not be enticed to buy it. As I do remember stories, they're not always alcoholically um, motivated, or the subject is not always alcoholism. But I think that the reason why I'm having so much trouble going back into my past and pulling out stories to write or tell you is because I am so overwhelmed right now with trying to keep it all together, just just get through and get by. Uh, I I'm hoping that with ending up with some help for Riley, because I imagine the way this is going to work is that at first I will start to be able to afford to have somebody to come in to help me, and then in the future I'll be able to put him into a facility. I also want to tell you that one of the followers of the blog, Kelly Flint, has graciously been answering comments. They're mostly on the in-stage definition of in-stage post, and she has been so good about answering people's questions and replying to the comments, and she's just been a blessing for me because I don't have that constant urgency to try to respond to everybody, which is something I just haven't been able to do. I haven't been able to respond to all the emails, and there are emails that I get that don't require a response, and thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. But I want to give a shout out to Kelly and tell her thank you. Thank you very much. And please keep doing the great work you're doing. I'm trying to put a section on the blog that will be Kelly's Corner where you can direct questions and comments to Kelly personally. Well, I guess that's about it. I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know what else to talk about at the moment. And for me, this has been a lot easier than what I thought it would be. I didn't get as tongue-tied as I thought it was going to be. I thought I would sit here and be sipping coffee more than talking, but here I am talking and I'm continuing to talk. So this is it. Until next time, bye.